At the heart of this story, it is good news, but some people tried to spoil everyone else's fun and turn it into a bad news story with some crazy reactions. Those of you who follow me on Twitter will already have a very good idea of what I'm talking about, but just to clarify for those who don't, or those who've missed a few days' videos, we have now confirmed when and how we're doing the National Autistic Society Jungle Run. If you remember earlier in the week, we unboxed this really cool box of stuff that they sent us as part of the launch of the Jungle Run. The Jungle Run is effectively National Autistic Society's version of a fun run, where at any point during August you can run or walk any distance across multiple days if you need to, wherever you want, on your own or with a group of people, and the only thing you have to make sure you do is get sponsored to do it. So we're obviously not runners, but we can walk, and we've decided that we're going to walk to Summer in the City. Not from Peterborough, that would be mad. But on the Sunday morning of Summer in the City, so Sunday the 11th of August, we're going to walk from our hotel in Stratford. You know the hotel, the usual hotel. If you're planning on coming with us, there's a Facebook event that I've linked down in the description below that has all the details. But basically, if you meet us at Stratford International train station at 10 o'clock on that Sunday morning, you'll be in roughly the right place. You'll find us. But we're going to walk from Stratford to the XL in London, where Summer in the City is being held. It's roughly a 6-kilometre walk. I expect it will take an hour and 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, maybe not quite so long, depending on how quickly we all walk. It's going to be me, Lucy and Amy doing it, and it's just a bit of fun. I realise it's not a particularly daunting walk. We can all walk for an hour, but it's just a way to do it in a way that hopefully will raise a bit of buzz, get people paying attention to it. It's part of Summer in the City, where I'm a featured guest. I've got a panel the day before where I can talk about it and hopefully use it as a way to raise a bunch of money for the National Autistic Society. As long-time viewers will know, over the last couple of years we've raised in excess of £10,000 for the National Autistic Society. It's obviously a charity that's very close to all of our hearts, and I want to be able to raise a load more money for them again. So I'm thinking, by doing it in the way that's going to get maximum publicity, rather than it being the most difficult challenge, it's more likely to create more donations. You got to use what you got. I can't run 5 marathons in a week and get people to donate that way, but I can sit on stage at Summer in the City in front of a bunch of people who care and say, look, I'm doing this thing tomorrow morning, you can come with me if you want, you can donate if you want, spread the word. It's going to be cool, and my dream for it is that we get a whole bunch of people meeting us in Stratford on Sunday morning, we march across London together, we all turn up at Summer in the City at the same time, and we get noticed, and we use that to spin it up into some donations and raise a whole load of money for the charity. That's the dream. We're aiming for £5,000. I would love to go higher than that. When we did the 24-hour charity live stream last year, we raised over £5,000 doing that. I'm not doing that this year. There isn't a weekend where that would work this year. I've talked about that at length over on Twitch, so if you want to know why that's not happening, jump into a Twitch stream. I no doubt talk about it again when someone asks about it, but I'm not doing that. This is kind of this year's National Autistic Society fundraising thing. So I want to raise a big bunch of cash, and it's already been incredibly well supported. Stephanie Lloyd, you are a hero. She's donated £1,000 to kick things off. It's an incredibly generous donation. Absolute hero. Thank you very much. But that is what got the bad news side of the story, and what kicked off on Twitter today for me, yesterday for you, because Stephanie is autistic. She's high functioning. She's capable of making her own decision. I've talked to her via email. She's very happy and proud that she's made the donation, but understandably a little bit frustrated at some of the backlash that there's been. It's not directed at her. It's directed at me, because I'm a monster exploiting her for my own financial gain, apparently. And obviously that's not what's happening, but I need to just put into a video what's actually happened so that I can point people at it if the accusations and the nonsense continues, just to clarify it all in one place. So yes, Stephanie is autistic. Like I say, I have spoken to her, and being autistic doesn't mean that you can't make decisions or you can't decide to donate to a charity. And I think some people probably need to have a word with themselves and just understand that autistic people are allowed to make decisions, they are allowed to think for themselves, and they are allowed to donate to charity. So that's our starting point. But just to roughly run you through what happened, the donation came in I immediately contacted the National Autistic Society and said, look, this has happened. What do you suggest I do? They suggest I get in touch with Stephanie and just check that everything is okay and let her know that if necessary, they can arrange to refund the money. Important point there, I never get the money. The money doesn't come through me at all. It goes directly from the person donating to the charity. So that money is now with the National Autistic Society, and they've said if need be they can refund it if it was done in error, or if, you know, she's had a change of heart, that kind of thing. I said to them, well, I don't know that I have a way to contact her, because I don't, all I review is Just Giving a lot. I've never really dug around in the menus on it. As far as I was aware at that point, it didn't give me loads of contact details for the people donating. It just gave me a total. That's the only bit I ever really look at. So I said, I don't really know how I would go about contacting her. And we agreed that it would be a good idea for me to just reach out on social media. So after much discussion and deliberation, I put a tweet out saying, this is the donation page, and thank you to Stephanie Lloyd for donating such a generous amount to kick things off. Two things. Firstly, genuinely did want to thank her. But secondly, if it was done in error, it's then public and will make people aware that it's happened. So if there is anyone who's close to Stephanie who is worried, they could then reach out and we could get everything sorted. And it's, you know, it's not like me secretly taking £1,000, squirreling it off towards charity and trying not to make a big deal out of it. So it was done with the intention of making contact with Stephanie or someone close to Stephanie more than anything. As part of that, someone said, Kev, you know, you can go on the dashboard and get their email and contact them. I didn't know that. I did then go and do that though, and sent an email off to Stephanie, and she said, yeah, I'm absolutely fine. I've got high functioning autism, but I'm happy and proud that I've made the donation. I am a little bit frustrated at some of the overreactions and stuff that people have had though, because by this point people were saying all sorts of nonsense on Twitter. I'm not going to repeat any of it here. I'm not going to screenshot or quote it or anything here, but a lot of people were very upset that I'd taken £1,000 off of an autistic person. But I spoke to Stephanie. She was fine. I then spoke to the National Autistic Society again. They're all fine. Everybody involved is fine. The person making the donation is fine and happy. The charity receiving the donation is fine and happy. I'm just the middleman who introduced them to each other. I never see any of the money. I'm pretty fine and pretty happy too. But yeah, that's pretty much the story of what transpired. And a lot of people got very upset about it. And there are still a bunch of people out there who think I've somehow exploited or sort of conned, stolen, the word stolen has been out there, money from a defenceless autistic person who can't think for themselves. I mean, all it really does is shows just how valuable stuff like this is for raising autism awareness and changing some of these attitudes, because I thought we'd been making real good progress over the last few years, but to know there's so many people within our community, within our audience, who still somehow are of a mindset of having autism means you can't make a decision for yourself, you can't manage your own money, you can't make a donation, you can't buy what you want. That was disappointing. But like I say, I don't want to harp on about it for too long. I know this has been a relatively positive video for the rest of it. I don't want to turn it into a big grump fest, but that's what happened. If you notice anybody going on about it and wanting clarification, feel free to send them to this video. Timestamp it if you want, so they miss all the fun family stuff before and just see the explanation. But that's what happened. I don't feel like I've got anything to hide. I certainly don't feel like I've done anything wrong. I've created a fundraising thing for a charity, working closely with the charity. They're pleased with my efforts. Someone's donated. She's happy that she's done it. She's feeling proud and feeling good. I'm really chuffed that someone decided to do that through my link rather than doing it directly to the charity, because it shows that we're having that connection with people, which is really cool. And everyone benefits, but some people just want to be negative about it. And I've kind of, after nearly 24 hours of dealing with this backlash, I've just kind of made the decision now of, you know what, if people want to be grumpy about it, I don't really care if they want to watch anyway, you know. That's my official response.